Hi, wrestling fans. Bob Connell along with Sandy Scott. Welcome to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Sandy, right here. These are what it's all about.
That's right, Bob. Western Regional Championship has been determined. Wahoo McDaniels and Don Morocco.
Right.
And now we're going into the Eastern Regional Championship, and we have 4 teams that are in it. And the match, of course, is going to be held in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the 4 teams are Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Killer Khan and Angelo Mosca, and the Samoans. Now there's 4 teams, and those guys get in there battling for the World Tag Team Championship belt, which is all about, plus $25,000 goes to the winner.
And I tell you, the time is winding down. We're going to have that very soon, Sandy.
Yes, we are.
All right, speaking of winding down, let's bring in Jack Briscoe right here. And Jack, you're very familiar with an incident that occurred between none other than Roddy Piper and Tommy Rich.
Well, I certainly am, and it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever witnessed in wrestling. You know, after Tommy had just won his match, he was thrown out on the floor and knocked semi-unconscious. And Roddy Piper, being the man that he is, pulled his belt out and started lashing Tommy Rich. You know, it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, and I know Tommy Rich, and I talked to him on the telephone, and he told me he just can't wait to get in that strap match with Roddy Piper. But I hope that he leaves a little bit of Roddy Piper for me to get a hold of myself.
All right, and wait a minute. Right here, Roddy Piper.
No trouble here.
Okay,
no
trouble.
Mr. Briscoe, Mr. Briscoe. I wanted you to know something. You know, I was going through the airport in Pittsburgh, and I saw all these nice little Indian things, and I thought, well, I was doing something to you maybe to offend you, and that you didn't like me, and I heard you come out here talking, and I thought that I would buy you a little present here, Mr. Briscoe, but just a second. Now, I'm quite serious here. I was trying to, but then I realized that I wear a kilt, and I'm proud of being a Scotsman, and you never mentioned being, you know, this little something you make on your off time, and you never mentioned nothing about being an Indian, and you don't wear feathers, and maybe, I know you're not a chief, or not good enough to be a chief. Don't get me wrong now, but what I'm saying is maybe you're ashamed of what you are, where I stand out here like a man in my kilt, and I didn't want to think that I would really offend you by giving you this wonderful little present, but if you're ashamed of what you are, Mr. Briscoe, I would take it back. You know.
Well, I would think that you were the man that's ashamed of what you are, because you ought to put your title on the line in the ring. Besides what you did to Tommy Rich, that belt lashing you gave him, he's going to give you one. Matter of fact, long time ago, your mama and daddy failed to give you any discipline. And if anybody needs a strapping, it's you, Roddy Piper.
I'll tell you something. Yeah, you see, there he goes. He walks off. Yeah. There he goes walking off. You see, real easy to be a hero. I come out like a nice guy. Real easy. He comes down here, talks all kinds of big stuff, right? So Roddy Piper, being the man that he is, he comes down. I'll tell you what. You want a title match? I will give you a title match right on TV here, right next week. You want a title match, Mr. Briscoe? You're going to learn one thing. It's after you know it all, it's what you learn that counts, Mr. Briscoe. And you're going to learn something about Roddy Piper. You think I would squish this up, wouldn't you? But I wouldn't.
Wait a minute. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about you strapping Tommy Rich.
Oh,
next week, right here, fans, we're going to have a VTR of that. We're going to show it. All of the fans are going to see it.
They are.
Also, we're going to have some comments from Tommy Rich.
Oh, well, it's just going to be such a pleasure, and I hope Tommy Rich, by that time, will still be able to speak and quit crying. Here you go, Jackie.
All right, fans, to say we've got great action for you this week. You're going to see Wahoo McDaniel, Don Morocco in a tag team match. Also, we're going to look at Sergeant Slaughter. You're going to see Killer Khan and King Kong Mosca, plus many other great stars. And we'll be back with our tag team action, right after we take this brief time out. All right, fans, back at ringside right now. We're ready for the bell in action. Tag team action right here. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Don Morocco against Pretty Boy Fergie Bill White. And, of course, Wahoo McDaniel and Don Morocco are Western winners in the Western Division of our tag team tournament, and are now here ready to take on the winners in the East. And Sandy, as we mentioned at the beginning of our program, that Eastern tournament now winding down, and as you said, 4 teams remaining, and they are really outstanding, every one of them.
Now they're tough teams to survive what they've gone through so far. Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Killer Khan, and Angelo Mosca, which we'll be seeing a little later on, and also the Samoans.
Wahoo McDaniel reaches back, makes a tag now to Don Morocco. Here's Morocco in. Sandy, I also got to come in and got to ask you about this. You heard Roddy Piper say, "I'll give you a match," talking to Jack Briscoe, right?
I sure
He was
did.
emphatic about it.
I thought they were going to do it right.
Oh, yeah, it looked like they were going to go right at it, didn't they? And also, you don't want to forget, fans, next week we're going to get a look at that tape where Roddy Piper did strap Tommy Rich. Pretty Boy Fergie reaching back, makes a tag to Bill White. Wahoo McDaniel breaks and backs away.
As you said before, Bob, here's the team that won the Western Regionals, and then Don Morocco and Wahoo McDaniel.
Wahoo with a tremendous chop coming out of that corner, and look at Morocco, just reaches in and grabs White by the hair, jerks him back in the corner, and Wahoo right on top. Now they're going to do a little double teaming, Sandy. Almost right into the referee. They almost knocked the referee down with Bill White, the way they were slamming White around the ring. Very impressive team are the Western winners, Wahoo McDaniel, Don Morocco. And I tell you, whoever wins this East, they're really going to have their hands full with this team.
Keeping that man over in their part of the ring, as you see when they're tagging.
Sandy Don Morocco is a very impressive wrestler in that ring. He is sort of hyper, really wild, really moves around, very active and very quick.
Well, when you look at his partner, Wahoo McDaniel,
Neckbreaker by Morocco.
Wahoo's the same way.
Wahoo's sort of wild too, isn't it?
So they're a very exciting team.
Morocco now with a headlock. Fans, also a little later in our program, we're going to get a look at a tape of a match that occurred earlier between the U.S. champion, Sergeant Slaughter, and Chief Wahoo McDaniel. And you don't want to miss that. What an exciting match that was.
It sure was.
Right now, Bill White trying to get over to his corner to make a tag to Pretty Boy Fergie. And Wahoo, looked like Wahoo was just going to drag him back, and he does. As White got up to 1 foot, he still couldn't make the tag.
They're keeping him in that corner.
And it's Morocco now with a tag to Wahoo.
Bob, a little later on, also, we're going to see Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen in action.
As well as the Briscoes. We're going to get a look at Jack and Jerry Briscoe. And also, in a match right here, you're going to see King Kong Mosca and Killer Khan.
Now, there's a team. There's a powerful team.
All right, White with a tag. Here's Pretty Boy Fergie, and White now holding Morocco down on the mat for Fergie, who just came in as he got into the ring. Several big stomps right into the midsection. He ducked under that right hand. Morocco ducked right under it, landed a right of his own, and here's Wahoo. Picks him up off of the rope for the slam. Power slam, hard to the mat. Nobody chops like Wahoo, Sandy. In and off of the ropes. Morocco with a drop kick. He's got him up for the pile driver. Morocco with a pile driver on Pretty Boy Fergie. Here's Wahoo. In quickly against Bill White. 1, 2, 3. It's all over right there. You don't get up from the pile driver. A favorite maneuver of Don Morocco, that pile driver. And once he gets the opponent into the air, high into the air, with all of the power and the weight behind it, with that pile driver, it's all over. Watch right here in slow motion, fans. High to the air. The pile driver from Morocco. 1, 2, 3. It's all over right there with our winner, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Don Morocco. We'll be back. We'll have more right after we take this time out. Fans, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Don Morocco, and we've got a tape, as we said earlier, of a match.
Excuse me a minute. Chief, I know there's been a lot of talking, a lot of snickering, a lot of stuff going on behind everybody's back. I hear Mosca and the Andersons and everybody else talking about, they know my past record, my past reputation of stretching the rules and doing whatever I have to do to win. Wahoo McDaniels came to me as a man. I have never gone back on my word. If I didn't think that we had every chance in the world for the World Tag Team Championship, I would not be backing up this man. I would not have given him my word as to the fact that I wanted to be his partner. I may be a little nuts, I may be a little goofy, but this man is one of the finest wrestlers in professional wrestling today. If you want to take a look at this tape, anytime somebody's going to jump on his back or going to be around, I'm going to be there because I have my eyes on this belt.
All right, and Wahoo, this is a tape of a match earlier between you and Sergeant Slaughter, the U.S. champ.
That's right. Head towards that top, the iron turnbuckle right there. And Slaughter is really stuck. Wahoo's still on top of it. Another drop, almost turned it around. Another drop by Wahoo, another one. He takes Slaughter. Puts him into the drop. Almost went out of ballpark right there. Almost out of ballpark. Referee Fogo keeps him in. He's draped on the rope. Slaughter. He's in trouble. Oh, picks him up. Hey, here he goes. Right here. Just two Slaughter things himself on the rope. Almost. Come on, Wahoo. Slaughter trying to come back right here. Trying to catch Wahoo. Gets the chop. They're slugging it out. They're slugging it out. Trading him. Into the eyes. That's stop anybody, even Andre the Giant.
Slaughter takes it. Knee across the head. There's Wahoo down. That's for the pin.
A little press by Slaughter and almost the winner.
This to the head. All right, takes him down. Into the rope.
Clothesline. And you know what usually comes after a clothesline? Slaughter, true champion he is, usually sets up one move with the other one. The clothesline comes and then the Cobra cuts usually. Wahoo's stunned.
You know it.
He's behind him. He's
He's gonna Cobra.
Oh, he kicked out of him.
He's trying for the Cobra. Again, he goes after it. He's almost got it locked.
Thumb in the eye.
Wow, he's gonna try anything to keep
Third
it
try of
working.
that Cobra.
Again. Slaughter tried for the Cobra and missed. Wahoo. Ahead. Jump.
Slugging it out right here, toe to toe. All right. Here's the lateral press right here.
Morocco just nailed Jim Nelson.
All right, fans, and with us right now at ringside, Ron Ritchie. Ron, always a pleasure to see you, and I know the fans are looking forward to seeing you in the ring along with Keith Larson right here.
Thank you. I'd just like to make a comment now, boy. It's going to be celebrating tonight. Everybody's fired up. Chief Wahoo McDaniels being slaughtered right here on national TV. What a feather in the cap it is for us. Things are starting to come around for us. Big Don Morocco's here. Things are looking up finally, and we're headed full steam ahead.
I tell you, that Indian chief, he's tough in that ring.
Oh, there's no tougher, boy. We're out tonight, boy. The girls, we're ready to go.
All right, and let's talk now, Ron, about your match coming up.
Well, Tony Nanthe and I got Angelo Mosco and Killer Khan. We know what to expect. We know they're two rough, brutal men. They know they're rule breakers, but we got to accept this. We got to go in there, and we just got to go full steam ahead and hope for the best.
Tony, what about it? These two are really huge guys.
Yeah, they're big guys. They just came in, you know. They've been victorious on TV and everything. First of all, I want to congratulate Chief Wahoo McDaniel on his win over Sergeant Slaughter. Everybody's jumping around, you know, having a good time now. But I want to talk about my match with Rowdy Piper.
Right. What about
this
that?
guy is I don't know if he's crazy or insane or he's a little funny. I don't know about him. He comes out here, he runs his mouth, he straps people with belts, and I know I'm going to have my hands full, but I'm going to have to go in there with the potential, you know, to try to win this match with all the power I got. He's got, you know, the sleeper, the all kinds of different holds.
Piper is, he's got just about everything right now. Not only that, but he's such a rough, tough individual in the ring, and he'll do anything to win. What about that?
Yes, he will. I've seen him use some rough statistics. I'm going to go in there with full force, 110%. I'm going to go in there and win. And I know what I'm going up against. You know, he's crazy. He just goes in these crazy spurts in the ring, you know. You just can't do nothing with him, you know.
Keep your guard up all the time in there against Roddy Piper.
You got to be watching Roddy Piper all the time. You better believe it.
All right, fans, and that's it right here at ringside. Fans, Terry Taylor right here. Terry, for several weeks now, you and Don Kernodle, it has really been happening week after week after week. You've got 10 minutes now to get in that ring and settle it right here with Don Kernodle.
Well, I'll tell you, I've never looked forward to a match more than this one. A chance on TV for me and Kernodle to settle this thing once and for all. I'll tell you, he's been trained by this guy Slaughter, and Slaughter got beat already, as everybody's seen. Well, I tell you, I'm going to try to take care of this just like Chief did with Slaughter. I'm going to do the best I can. I'll tell you, I don't know if I'm going to win or not, but I'm going to give it 100%. And if that Nelson, I'll tell you, I don't have to worry about him jumping in because it's a single match. If he wants any of me when I'm done here, I'll be more than happy to give him a chance too.
All right, good luck to you, Terry Taylor. And fans, as we say, this is going to be a great match, so let's go right up to the ring now for the action.
Bob, here's two fellas that's been at each other for about a month now.
You're right, Sandy. Don Kernodle and Terry Taylor, and of course Kernodle, one of the privates of Sergeant Slaughter. And in a couple of matches that were tag team matches, Kernodle and Taylor, you could just see the bad blood begin to boil between these two, and it just kept getting worse. And as Terry Taylor said, he's more than delighted to have an opportunity right here on television to settle it.
One-on-one.
Absolutely. Outstanding young man, this Terry Taylor, but he's in against a whale of a rough one in Don Kernodle. And Kernodle through the ropes goes Kernodle. Through the ropes, off the apron, hard down on the concrete floor. Don Kernodle really popped that cement floor, Sandy.
He sure did. That Taylor's out for business.
But Don Kernodle, since being trained by Sergeant Slaughter, is a changed individual.
Yes, he is. And he's a good wrestler. Both of them are very good wrestlers.
And fans, as we said, this match, 10 minutes. 10 minutes to settle this grudge between these two once and for all. Kernodle catches that hard right flush in the mouth, backs him halfway across the ring. He's got to shake his head a little on that one, Sandy.
Yeah, he sure does.
Terry Taylor now with a wrist as they're out near the center of the ring.
Good move by Kernodle. Wow, Taylor comes right back.
Yeah, he went diving in at him. Taylor grabbed that arm very quick and with that hip toss. At the beginning of our program, fans, you heard a lot from Roddy Piper. You heard a lot from Roddy Piper out here with Jack Briscoe. We're going to see Roddy Piper in action. That match will come up a little later.
And also we got the Briscoes in action.
Right, we're going to see a tape of the Briscoes plus a tape of Ole and Hansen. And right here, King Kong, Mosca, and Killer Khan. Terry Taylor again now with that armbar. Sandy, this young man received a tremendous amount of votes as the outstanding young man for 1981. And actually the wrestler that contributed the most to wrestling in the area in 1981 when he wasn't here much of the year. So this young man, when he came in, Terry Taylor, really made a tremendous impact on the fans everywhere.
He sure did. And also he was the rookie of, I think it was 1980. So he's been making a good name for himself. He's well-conditioned wrestler. He stays in shape. He runs, he swims, handball, lifts the weight.
Kernodle was going to hip toss him when he came off the ropes. That was a good counter on the part of Terry Taylor.
This Taylor has a lot of heart. You got to have that.
That's right. You're right, 100%. That time, Canota with a hip toss. Taylor showed you the strength he has by holding right onto that arm. Right on, he went right on through the move and came back up with the arm.
He's got Canuto a little confused right now. He's sticking to that arm. Taylor's working that arm.
Sandy, what did you think of that match with, and the portion that we saw there, the ending portion of it with Sergeant Slaughter and Wahoo McDaniel? That was just tremendous. The Chief beating Sergeant Slaughter right on television.
Oh, man, I tell you, you got two big guys there, 275, Sergeant, and 260 for Wahoo McDaniel, going at each other. Powerful, powerful men. And Wahoo getting the edge.
Taylor slammed hard to the ropes. Canota caught him from behind, slammed his throat right into that top rope. And Sandy, he's in bad trouble right now as he's down on the mat. He can't get his breath at the moment.
Cut the air off by hitting those ropes.
Canota got him up. Looks like he may be, what, an airplane? No, he's going back to the ropes again. Again with that throat down across the rope.
The referee has warned them about it now. I don't think they like each other too much, Bob. You know.
Again, he slams Taylor into that rope on the throat. No, you can. It's just the way they go at each other, the way they look. You can look at it on television, you can look at it in the monitor, and you can see the way they look at each other, just how much they hate each other.
You know, another thing that this here's Tommy Rich and Piper situation.
You're right. And, of course, Jack Briscoe talking to us earlier about that. And, again, we'd like to remind all of our fans, Sandy, that next week we're going to have a tape of that. You're going to see the match where Roddy Piper whipped with a belt Tommy Rich, and also we'll have some comments by Tommy Rich. I want to see that. I really want to see it, and I know all you fans do. Canota with a hard right hand. Taylor staggering around, falls back into the rope. And Taylor, another hard right into the nose. And at this point, he's got a bloody nose.
Yes, he has, and Canota working on him.
Canota with another hard right and attempt at a pin, and Taylor kicks out. Look at Canota again on the ropes. He has really been mauling Taylor.
Working on that win.
Now he's gone to the referee. Slams the referee back into the corner and in the rope. And look at Taylor. And Taylor and Canota now really going at it. And referee Sonny Fargo, he can't control the match. He's lost all control of it. No way he can control these two guys. As they're slugging away at each other, the referee says ring the bell. That's going to be it. It's going to be a no contest. But how do you get them apart, Sandy? No way you can get these two guys separated. It's going to take more than a referee.
They're going at each other.
Canota and Taylor just refusing to stop, refusing to back up. Canota through the ropes and out of the ring. And here comes Taylor. He's trying to get out of the ring after him. Fans, watch a little bit of this action right here in slow motion. A hard right hand from Terry Taylor. Another hard right, and Canota goes down, and they really go at each other. The referee says no contest. They're both disqualified, and no way he could get them apart and get them separated. What action from these two young men, Terry Taylor, Don Canota. We'll be back with more right after we take time out for this segment. Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant, all of the fans saw it. They saw right here. They saw Wahoo McDaniel beat you.
Yeah, they saw Wahoo McDaniels and Don Morocco beat me. Wahoo McDaniels himself could not beat me. He had the help of Don Morocco. And that suits me fine because Morocco, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for everything that's happened. Because I know that Wahoo McDaniels could not beat me by himself. I know you had to come out there and help. And for every embarrassment that it's caused me, in the record book, it says Wahoo McDaniels beat Sergeant Slaughter. Well, Don Morocco, you're going to pay for everything that's happened.
Ole Anderson. Ole, a tag team tournament, the 4 big teams left in the East.
There's only one thing that's important, that's money, and of course those belts mean money. We got $25,000 when Henson and I come out on top, and then we're going to get those World Tag Team title belts, and that's going to mean several $100,000 more during the course of the year. And I know that the people are running right now, who in the world it's going to be. Well, when you look at Hanson and Anderson, I don't think there can be anybody else.
Just one moment, Anderson.
I was going to say,
it doesn't matter. An opinion's only the state of mind. We've already won $25,000 in Montreal, Canada. You think we're here for our health? Whether it be you, the Samoans, Briscoes, or anybody, Killer Khan, the clandestine figure that he is, thinks like me and acts like me, and we'll see.
Hey, get your best hold. Do the best you can. We're walking out with everything.
all right, fans. Roddy Piper right here. Roddy, and I mentioned earlier, next week.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to put my prestigious belt right there, the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight. Tommy Rich, a country boy. Country boy, that's just another word to me for someone who didn't go through the inconvenience of getting an education, you see. Me, I did. So what I did is I took him and I strapped him. And I strapped him, I strapped him, I strapped him, and I strapped him again. And down he went, and down he cried. You see, you're going to find out something, Tommy Rich. You're going to find out how can something that tastes so good be so bad. Come on, Mr. Briscoe.
All right, fans, we'll be back. We'll have more action. We'll see Roddy Piper in action right after this message. All right, fans, the Mid-Atlantic champion, Roddy Piper, against Keith Larson. And after the bell, Sandy, Roddy's got to take time to get that killed off.
I'll tell you something. I said I'd give. Come on, boy. Come on.
Roddy Piper right away with a hip toss on Larson. And Piper is still steamed up from Jack Briscoe. I'm talking about Tommy Rich, Sandy. He still is.
You know, Ole Anderson and Moscow were out here. I felt a little animosity there between those two, didn't you?
Ole Anderson talking about he and Stan Hansen are as good as already being World Tag Team Champions. And King Kong Mosca and Killer Khan, they had a little bit to say about that. And I think they're going to have a lot to say about it in the ring.
Well, when they have that Eastern Regional Championship, when you got those guys, Anderson and Hansen, Briscoes, Killer Khan and Mosca, and the Samoans, is going to be very interesting to see who ends up with
well,
who.
and the teams you just named off, Sandy, you know, in anything like a tournament like this, with the top teams in the world, the cream really rises to the top, and that's what's remaining with these 4 teams.
True, Bob, and each one of these teams are very, very tough teams to survive what they've gone through to reach where they are.
Roddy Piper now with the arm, putting the pressure on that shoulder and on the arm of Keith Larson. Also, let me remind you again, fans, this you want to be sure you don't miss. When next week we get a look at the tape of the match where Roddy Piper whipped with the belt Tommy Rich. And I am really anxious to see what Tommy Rich has to say about that. We'll hear from Tommy Rich.
From him.
Look at Larson now with the right hands as he drives Piper back toward the ropes in the corner. Another hard right from Larson. Piper floors him with a roundhouse right. Over the ropes and the Piper pinned, only a count of 2. Piper like a buzzsaw in that ring as he really goes after his opponent.
Coming up, we're going to see Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen in the match, and also the Briscoes, and we're going to see Angelo, King Kong Mosca, and Killer Khan coming up.
That's right. All right, here's Piper, now who's really beginning to work over Keith Larson. As Larson is on the mat, he comes from behind and again applies the pressure now to that shoulder and into that chin.
Ask him!
Roddy Piper, who has a lot of lip, he does a lot of talking. Sandy, you got to admit one thing. Roddy Piper, pretty good at backing up what he has to say.
So far he has, but when he's
Watch out! Oh, hard chop as Larson is back in the corner. Another one now from Piper.
doing what he did to Tommy Rich, getting out here and saying what he did to Jack Briscoe, I think he's got himself in a lot of trouble.
All right, Piper. Larson comes off with a sleeper. Referee Sonny Fargo says ring the bell. Taps Piper on the back and says let him up. And that will be all. Roddy Piper with that sleeper puts Keith Larson away. Watch it in slow motion. Here is Piper into the corner. He comes out of it as Larson is charging him, and he runs right into that sleeper hole. Once Piper gets it locked in tight, no way Larson's going to get away. It's all over right here with our winner, Roddy Piper. All right, fans, and with us right now back at ringside, Pretty Boy Fergie, Bill White right here, and Dalton. How you fellas?
That's right, it's Pretty Boy Fergie. I thought for a minute there you forgot my name
I wasn't
or
going to
something.
forget that. I can see it right across there.
That's right. I had to put it on my shirt because I thought you'd forgotten my name. Every week at TV, all I hear about is guys like Jake the Snake Roberts and his knee lift, Jay Youngblood and that vicious chop he has. Will you shut up and let me talk over there for just a minute?
You can add some more names to that, like
That's
Wahoo
right.
McDaniel and Don Morocco.
Well, I'm going to get around to that. I never hear you say one thing about the Pretty Boy and this haymaker that he brought with him from Memphis TV. That's Memphis, Tennessee. I was on Memphis TV, too. I must have knocked out 10 men alone with it, including Wahoo McDaniels. But now I see he's dragging himself back here. Got some partner named Don Morocco.
That's right.
Who uses a move that I call nothing but a simple pile driver, and I'm going to the NWA about it, and we'll see about this Don Morocco.
What about that pile driver?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the vicious pile driver, you know, I've got immune to about everything. Nothing hurts me anymore. I just go in there and give it, you know, a lot of people say, well, I go in there, I give it 110%. There ain't no way in the world, brother, that you can give 110%. All you've got is 100. You can forget that 110, not 120. I go in there, I give it 100%. I'm not like the rest of them say I give 110. I give 100%. That's all I can give. And if that ain't good enough, brother, when I get done in that ring, I'll come back and try again.
Bill White, come in here, Bill. What about Don Morocco? What about Wahoo McDaniel, Bill?
Well, Bob, you know, Don Morocco's been around this area now, and I've fought him before. I fought him in Florida. I fought the Indian many, many times, as you know, right here on this station. And I'll tell you, these guys are pretty tough. These guys are downright get in there, and they'll give you everything that you got, and you had better be there to take it. Because if you ain't got it to take it, you ain't going to make it.
You can just add them to the list like with the Briscoes and all the other great wrestlers that are here, Bill.
No, these guys can get dirty, and they can get dirty right with you. But you got to remember one thing. You can get dirty just right back with them.
All right, fans, and that's the story right here ringside. Fans, we'll be back with more action right after we take this brief time out. Fans, right here, Jack Briscoe. Jack, you and Jerry right in there, one of the four teams still in the Eastern Tag Team Tournament.
That's true. It's boiling down to it. You know, the cream of the crop is there now. You know, the city has been selected, Charlotte, and it's come down to four of the toughest teams in the country, I think. And we got some VTRs on them here, and I'd like to see them.
That's right. We got a tape of you and Jerry in a match, and I think I know all the fans like to see that. Jack. For a moment, to count of two, Jerry Briscoe's shoulders down to the mat. Terry, speaking of Terry Taylor, right here, who last year in 1981, and even though you weren't here for most of the year, you received a tremendous amount of votes as the young man who contributed the most to wrestling for 1981. And I know that's got to mean a great deal to you because you have picked up a tremendous amount of fan support in the time that you've been in wrestling.
The fans here have been very good to me since I've been here, and I want to tell them each and all right now, thank you very much for their continued support. I'll tell you, this competition here is getting tougher and tougher all the time.
You can see a making of a good team here where the Briscoes keep their man over on their side of the ring.
You're right, Sandy. And not only that, with that tag and Jack getting on that rope, coming off of that rope. Working very, very well as a tag team. And you gotta believe they sort of think alike too, Terry. Had that leg hook, couldn't hold him down, a count of two, and Miller kicks out. But being brothers and having grown up together, you know, spent a great deal of their lifetime together. They got to think a lot alike. This has got to help you in tag team action.
They also care about each other. You know, they're brothers, so it goes more than just money. These two guys sincerely care about each other, do take chances to help one another when they have to. I'll tell you, they've had Miller in here a long time. I think they're getting ready to go in for the kill here.
That's right. Miller needs to get over to make a tag if possible. Briscoe had made a tag. Did Miller? Oh, he got Miller before. Miller was trying to get over for the tag.
See, that's beautiful wrestling. They stopped him from making the tag. They've had him in trouble all night. Double under suplex. That'll take the wind out of him. And there he goes into the figure 4.
Yes, he's going to go and lock that figure 4.
He gets it. That's all. I think that's it.
No way. If Miller can't get some help and can't get the rope, then Jerry Briscoe quickly gets in and cuts him off, so there's no way that he's going to get any help. And out of that figure 4, it's just all over when he gets that locked in. You aren't going to get out of it by yourself. Well, Jack, no doubt about it. You and Jerry got to be considered one of the favorites in that tournament.
Well, I certainly hope so. You know, $25,000 to the winner, you know, which means nothing if you actually win the World Championship belt. You know, the money you make, the prestige that goes along with it would just be tremendous. But there's all kinds of competition, and coming up is two of the toughest men that I've ever seen. And,
that's right.
I tell you, they're big and they're mean and they're tough, but Jerry and I think we can outmaneuver them.
Fans, and of course, Jack is talking about Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen. We've got a tape of them in action. Let's watch it right now.
As hard as you want. I just don't believe you can hurt.
He didn't back up, Jack.
No.
He stood his ground.
That Tony hit him 3 times and he had it, and he just didn't blink an eye.
Vicious elbow smash.
Drop that 325 pounds off that chest, brother.
And what's that double team?
They're definitely the team to watch for that World Championship. Jerry and I know it. We're going to study every move that they make.
They don't just slam a man to the mat. It looks like they're trying to throw him right through the ring.
Oh, they try to hurt you. They go out to hurt you. They would rather make you give up than pin you at any time.
Oh yeah, they like to break you down real good, so that you remember.
To them, a real win is when they give up, not when they pin you 1, 2, 3. They like.
Well, I tell you one thing. I, for one, am really looking forward to that match, that 6-man tag team match.
I am too. I'm excited
about it.
Very excited.
That's something I don't want to miss. Watch Stan Hansen right here now. Go to work on Tony Anthony.
Of course, with Gene standing over there ringside behind him all the time, you never know what Gene's going to do at any given moment.
All right, Hansen now with a foot, and they keep Anthony in the corner. They're going to tag, switch, and they'll double team off of that switch each time.
Again, when they make the tag, they never release their opponent until the other man's thrown a blow.
I haven't seen them make one mistake as yet. They tag it in good. They're keeping the man over in that corner.
Oh!
It's all over, I guarantee you.
Jack, you just can't get up from a move like that.
You can't get up after a lariat like that. You just can't get up.
There it is. Yes, sir, from Stan Hansen. Watch right here. Watch him come in and off of the ropes. And when he gets into that lariat, boy, he goes down like a sack right here. It's all over at this point. Stan Hansen, Ole Anderson, the winners. All right, fans, and in the ring right now, Cindy, we've just seen 2 of the teams that are going to be in that tag team tournament. Here's another one in that ring right now. King Kong, Mosca, and Killer Khan as they're going to go against Ron Ritchie, Tony Anthony. Well, it's Ron Ritchie and King Kong Mosca. Mosca, he's like a King Kong in that ring. He's a true gorilla.
Wow, his nickname is Big Nasty.
Ritchie with a headlock. Mosca's so big, so strong, and powerful. Killer Khan. Ritchie slammed hard to the knee. Here's Khan in now after the tag. This Big Mongolian, he's a wild, rough one.
It's a wild team right there. As you look over the 4 teams that's in that tournament, there's not a weakness in any of them.
Khan slamming Ritchie hard to the mat, makes a tag again to Mosca. Well, they double team him, both get a foot up into the midsection. Fans, remember, next week we're going to get a look at that tape where Roddy Piper in a match with Tommy Rich whips Rich with a belt. We're going to get a look at that. We're going to see it for the first time, and I'm really anxious, and I know you fans are to see it, as well as hear some comments from Tommy Rich.
It's going to be very interesting to hear what Tommy Rich has to say about that.
Ha! Double chopped right to the side of the neck and the throat. Whips Anthony hard off of the ropes right into the elbow. These two men are huge in size, big, powerful, strong men. They're like wild animals in the ring.
Well, they got to be around 635 pounds between them in there.
Well, we had talked about Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen and the Briscoes. Mosca being double teamed in the corner now as Richie and Anthony had him.
Excuse me, Bob, but you see who's out here watching? Ole Anderson.
Ole Anderson. We had talked about Ole and Stan Hansen and those being the favorites. I think you got to put Kong and Mosca right in there with that group. And I think Ole Anderson is worried about it because Ole, as you say, is standing here ringside watching.
He's doing his homework, Bob. He's doing his homework.
Ole Anderson at the ringside folds those hands, watches Mosca and Killer Khan as they continue to work over Ron Ritchie. Khan over the rope, high to the He lifts Ritchie off of the mat.
Ole Anderson is taking a very serious look at these fellas.
Khan with a tag. Here's Mosca. Ritchie now on his knees trying to fight. Headbutt, another one. Again he slammed hard to the mat now by Mosca. Mosca now with the neck. Again, reaching back for the tag. Here's Killer Khan as Mosca holds Ritchie.
Ole Anderson still out there watching them.
He's taking it all in. He hasn't missed a single move as Khan lifts Ritchie high to the air for the slam. Ritchie just managed to roll out, make that tag. Here's Tony Anthony.
He didn't even phase that Killer Khan.
That big Mongolian, he is so strong and powerful. And Anthony is going to be held in the corner by Khan. Rammed into the fist of Mosca. Here's King Kong Mosca in. Elbow.
Big elbow.
Get up.
Oh, another knee into the back of the neck. Now Mosca's looking right back across at Ole Anderson, who's standing out there watching it.
I think he's trying to send a message to Ole. Sandy, no doubt about that. Here's Killer Khan now. Well, first it was Ritchie that was being mauled, and now Tony Anthony. The size of Khan and Mosca is so overpowering. Good toss now by Khan.
Any of these four teams that go up against each other, it's going to be a powerhouse there. But if you see Mosca and Khan on one team and Anderson and Hansen on the other team there, oh.
Here comes Khan in and off of the rope. High to the air with a knee drop right down to the back of the neck. He's going to roll him over, covers him with a press, and again he lifts Anthony off of the mat. He did it once to Ritchie, now he does it to Anthony.
Anderson is really now taking a serious look in there.
And Mosca this time as he covers and pins him. Khan lifted him up off of the mat prior to that, but Mosca, when he floored him, covered him for the count of 3. Watch it in slow motion, fans.
There's Big Mosca. Got the count. Your winners, Mosca, Killer Khan.
Jack Briscoe right here, and Jack, I tell you, we just saw that Killer Khan and that King Kong Mosca in there. They're also one of the 4 teams in that tag team tournament.
Well, they're an impressive team, no doubt about it, and Jerry and I are going to have our work cut out for us. But as far as Roddy Piper is concerned, coming out here trying to embarrass me, saying I'm not proud to be an Indian and pulling out this paper teepee. Well, I'm telling you, Mr. Piper, you better be ready for me because you got my feathers up now, and I'm coming after you.
All right. Don Morocco. Don, I tell you, I noticed you saw it too. This King Kong Mosca, this Killer Khan. You and your partner, Wahoo McDaniel, you're the Western winners in this tag team tournament. You're going to meet the Eastern winner, and I tell you, that's going to be something.
Well, we're waiting. Nobody's laughing anymore. Nobody's making any more jokes. They saw me in the Indian. They know me in the Indian. They know I'm sticking by the Indian. It's not funny. We're waiting. Those belts right there is what we want. That's what I'm here for. I'll come and go as I please. But the World Championship is number one.
Don, you got to think about those teams that are in there. You got to think about Mosca and his partner Khan.
Mosca,
you got to
Killer
think about
Khan, the
what
Briscoe
about
brothers.
Ole Anderson, Stan Hansen, the Briscoe brothers, the Samoans.
All four, any four of the teams can come out on top. It makes no difference. The Briscoe brothers are the most scientific. The Samoans are giants. They're maulers. Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson are sadistic maulers. You just saw Killer Khan and Angelo Mosca, King Kong Mosca. Of all those men, there's tonnage of weight there. And the Indian and I are waiting. The Indian and I are waiting us patiently. We're in shape. And nobody's taking us lightly anymore. Nobody's waiting for anybody to double-cross the Indian, and I'm going to be there.
Hey, I tell you, you and the Indian both are sort of wild men in that ring. I think you two sort of fit together in there, Don. Is that the way you feel about it?
Well, we pay the price. We work out, so when we get in the ring, we have fun. That's what it's all about, is having fun in the ring, having fun at being a professional wrestler. And if you pay the price, if you spend the time in the gym, you spend the time in the match, when the time comes, when you knock heads in there, you're ready for it. You can get down and go.
All right, fans, and that's going to do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.